Good evening, folks. Welcome to the program. My name is Shem Savati. You can also refer to me as Shemko the Big Fish. And this is Real and Raw. Now, today I am on set, not with my crew as always, but I'm with one gentleman, a guest. His name is Brian Muhandale. Perhaps, sir, if you can just introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself shortly.
Thank you. I am Brian Muhandale, originally from Western Kenya, but right now I'm based at Machakos. I am a high school teacher by profession, and I'm totally blind.
Nami ni Lame Kaungo. Kila wakati na kila wakati ambapo tunafanya Real and Raw, tunapatana hapa kuzungumzia maswala yanayotugusa moja kwa moja kama wanaume, na hata kutatua maswala ambayo ni tata, hasa katika kufanya maamuzi ya kipekee kwa wakati kama huu. Hivi sasa tunaye Brian Muhandale ambaye ni kijana ambaye amepitia dhuluma za kijinsia, na hivyo basi yuko hapa kutueleza na kutupa picha halisi jinsi ilivyokuwa na hata yale ambayo ameyapitia kufikia sasa, ili kwamba tuweze kuelewa sisi wote, na hata cha msingi ni kwamba tuweze kuhimizana na tuweze kuelimishana kuhusu maswala ambayo yanatugusa moja kwa moja kama wanaume, tunapoendelea kuwasiliana na hata kukua pamoja. Ndio kusudi la Real and Raw. Welcome. I know you are very confused today. I'm speaking in Swahili. My name is Lame Kaungo, and welcome. Let's have this conversation. Let's get what Brian has for us, and we would like him to tell us how he's been conducting himself since he experienced what he's going to share today.
Absolutely. Well put, Lamek. And now tonight, are men now the victims of gender-based violence? Because initially, it is widely known that women are the ones who have been experiencing gender-based violence. And also men do experience gender-based violence, but the problem is, when a man speaks, he's regarded as weak. So men end up not speaking. And where does it result to? That is why we are here today. And in this show, we give men a platform to speak about issues that affect them either directly or indirectly.
You know what, Shemko? Last time when we had a conversation on whether a man should show his emotions by crying and shedding tears,
right,
I will read your post so much because I really could not see that, because I was like, that's showing weakness.
Yes, right.
And I defended vehemently my points here. But in this platform today, we are going to see the effect of not saying, effects of and seeing or unearthing that men also go through.
Yeah.
Such kind of experiences and such kind of dhuluma. So we are going to actually get it today.
Because men are victims too. Now, Brian, if we get down to it, just if you can just shed some light, because I understand your story has been told elsewhere, perhaps, but we would like to hear it from you.
Down. This is a big platform for sharing you.
Yes, we would like just to hear it from you.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first place I am to share this story. Okay, before I start, actually I wasn't born blind. I was born a normal human being. That's why even when I was being given directions to this side, I was asking which matatu do I use and so on. I just lost sight a few years ago, and at that time my world crashed, but somehow I managed to pull myself out of it. So I went for rehabilitation, and my employer is a good employer. After rehabilitation, they gave me a chance, posted me elsewhere, so I'm still working despite the challenge. So I've had a wife. We got married in 2013 December. We were blessed with 2 baby boys, very good boys. So things have been quite good between the 2 of us. Life was just normal until I lost my sight. When I lost my sight, she started changing a little bit, but after some counseling sessions with the elderly, They told her, no, this is your man, this is the man of your youth. It isn't his wish to be like this. You met him when he was normal. So his situation right now should not make you change your relationship with him or how you treat him.
Before we get there, how
Yes.
did you lose your sight?
It was just sudden loss of eyesight. It is something that is unexplainable. I woke up in the morning, I was okay, I prepared to go to school. Then when I reached my place of work, I lost sight.
You did not have any medical problem initially before that, or
I
Or
didn't
were you
have,
taking something
No.
small like Chang'ao or something like that?
no. I am a teetotaler. I've never touched a brown bottle apart from Stony, but I didn't fall, I didn't hit my head anywhere, but I just lost my sight. So I went round and round to many hospitals. They couldn't quite pinpoint what the problem was, after which I decided that enough is enough. Let me go for rehabilitation. I cannot just pity myself, life has to go on. So I went for rehabilitation, after which I went back to my employer and I was posted elsewhere. So from there, life has been good, okay, with the normal challenges here and there. But then, December last year, it was a very bad time for me. It was very bad. I remember this one fine Saturday. Even before that Saturday, my wife's sister, the sister-in-law, came visiting. So I thought she had just come to visit for a few days and leave because we are a young family.
Was your wife working?
Yes, she's working. So I thought she was just coming for a visit and then she would go. I didn't know she had come to stay. That is when things in the family changed. My wife just became something else because we had our normal routine. We would be up to around 9. We watch the news a bit, then we retire to bed. But from the time my sister-in-law came, they changed. I would go to bed at that 9 or 9:30. She would come to bed even at 4 a.m.
any reason? Did she give any reason for doing
I
that?
don't know. They were just on the phone. I don't know what they were doing, chatting on the phone. I don't know with whom a lady can chat on the phone from 8 up to around 4 a.m. So I tried raising my concerns. They were ignored. So there's a time I even remember I decided I was not going to sleep. I was going to wait for her. So I just sat there on the couch, waited up to around 11. She decided to pretend that she's sleeping. So the moment I got up to go to bed, she sprang into action. They started their normal social media, WhatsApp, TikTok and so on. I don't know what they were doing. So I voiced my concern. That was on a Saturday. I remember it very well. So that Saturday, she wasn't comfortable. I think they started cooking something. But because of my situation, I couldn't tell what was going on. They started cooking something. She tried provoking me actually, but I just controlled myself, went to sleep. I told her, no, I don't want any issues. And even if we were to have issues, it cannot be in front of your sister and such. Maybe you'll come to the bedroom, we sort. It didn't end there. She still came, trying to provoke me again. I ignored and just told her, I've just taken my medicines, let me just sleep.
So when you say provoke, what was she doing actually?
What she was doing was like trying to show me that I'm less of a man.
Because by that time you had become
Yes.
blind.
Yes, I had become blind, but I've never failed in my responsibilities. I've never failed, even a single day.
When it comes to provision for your kids and for the family, because after all you were earning. And she was working, you say?
She's also working, but then...
By then she was working?
Yes, she was. And all the responsibilities in the house are in my hands. I've just done my best. Even as we speak, my children are in school. They are even aware I am here. I told them I'd be here. They wanted to accompany me, but I told them no, it is a school day. Maybe another time we'll go together. So the provocation was just trying, like I was trying to ask her now at 11:30, who is this you are chatting with? At 11:30, surely, are you really chatting with the fellow ladies? At 11:30, she couldn't answer. Then she started asking me, so who do you think I'm chatting with? If you already know who I'm chatting with, why are you asking me? I told her, no, you know, I just wanted to know because as your husband, I feel that once you come to the house, some things remain at the gate. So once you come to the house, you become a wife, you become a mother, everything else you leave it, just the way I do. Once I reach the house, the children will play with the phone a little bit. When it is around 8, my phone off. I expected the same. We had even agreed upon that. But from the time the sister came, they changed.
The sister kind of like changed her mind.
She's the young sister?
Yeah, this is the younger
Was she
sister.
married?
No, she's not married. She's someone who just had a kid with someone and they broke up. So I don't know if she wanted the same for her sister. I don't know. I could not tell. So what happened? The next day, they got out. They went, wherever they went, I don't know. Came back to the house. At 8 p.m., I asked surely, where are you coming from at 8 p.m.? You know, your movements are now worrying me. Where are you coming from at 8 p.m.? And that time they had formed a habit with their sister. Between 6 and 8, when it is almost 6, walk out.
So how could you, first of all, at that moment you're blind. How could you get notice of time? Like how could you know this is 6, it is 8 p.m.?
Oh, this technology, I think that is one thing I really love about iPhone.
Number of days and everything.
Yeah, that
You'll
one.
always definitely know.
I will really wish Steve Jobs had not died. I would have really wished to visit him so that I thank him for the phone that he developed for us. Were it for not this phone, my life would be very difficult. But because of the phone, I can do everything. Call, SMS, do my emails, do my WhatsApp and everything. So that technology helps. And it can even help me to tell direction where I am and so on. So I could always tell that they have moved.
She's not around.
She's not around.
8 p.m.
And when they are going, they would never even have that courtesy of saying, hey,
We have gone out.
we are
coming
going.
back in maybe a
Yes,
few.
they never had that courtesy. So I never knew what they were planning. So one day I actually asked her, no, I'm now concerned. I've been asking this, but seems you've been ignoring me. I'm now concerned. What is it you do? Where is it you go every day at 6 p.m. you come back at 8? Sometimes they even went, there was a time they came back towards 9. And that day I didn't talk. I just took supper with my boys, took them to bed. From there I just waited for them. When they came, I just decided to play the role of maybe a good husband. I just told
At
them.
this time they are going
yes.
out. Did they leave you preparing food for your boys, or they had prepared food? And
No,
so-
they just go.
and
They
you
just-
had to prepare food for your boys?
Yeah, there are times I prepare. I was preparing food for my boys. The training I underwent at Kise,
Yeah.
that rehabilitation was very good, because in addition to technology, the handling of computers, how to use a white cane, we also taught how to move around. We were taught how to wash, how to cook some basic meals, and so on. So the house will never lack rice and such things. So when it becomes late, I just prepare rice for the boys. We eat. The boys go to sleep. So this day when they came back, I told them, no, I've been asking this question and you've been ignoring me. I would wish to know why you have changed all of a sudden. You never used to leave this house past 6. You used to be in the house by 6. And life was so good. What has changed? I think from there, she started plotting something behind my back. So this one fine Sunday morning, I wake up in the morning at 7. I like watching a certain program, certain preachings I follow. So that day, I'm just awake. They have been awake up to 4 a.m., so they have gone to sleep. So I go tune on my television. I'm listening to these preachings I'm following. All of a sudden, she comes from behind. She hits me with a chapati rolling pin.
What?
Yes, I was hit here. Even how
You didn't have any quarrel prior to that?
No.
It was just sudden?
Why would she do that in the first place?
I don't know. Because that Saturday when they were with the sister, I don't know what they were plotting. Every other time they would be in the kitchen. A few minutes they're out. A few minutes they are in the... So I could sense that something is not normal. Yes. So all of a sudden I am hit by a chapati rolling pin at the back of the head. Even how I survived, it's only the grace of God. So I rolled onto the ground. When I hit the floor, they came, they tied my hands. One of them, I don't know which one, if she was the one or the sister, took a sock.
So at this moment when they are doing all these things, are they saying anything?
No. No.
They're just silent then?
They are just silent. It's like they are executing their plan now.
Did you raise alarm or by shouting or?
I tried to shout. Someone took the socks and inserted them in the mouth. It was terrible. That was the most terrible moment in my life. There have been 3 moments in my life which are unforgettable. The first one is when I lost sight. The second one was in 2021, April, when I became totally paralyzed. I couldn't move. I was totally paralyzed. But by God's grace, I am here. He restored my health. That was the 3rd most unfortunate thing ever to happen to me.
So you are down there, they have put socks in your mouth?
Yes.
You're not moving?
Yes.
They have hit you?
Yes.
Then what happened next?
They have tied my hands. Now I'm trying my best just to find a way of saving myself. Then my wife bends over. That one I can tell she was the one. She bends over and takes one deep bite on my lip here. What? If you check very well, there is a mark here. It was
our
so...
cameraman can zoom in.
What? And at this moment, where are your kids now?
The kids had traveled home. They had gone to my parents, so the kids had gone home. She took a deep bite. Even I felt that the lip had come out. In fact, I should have carried the shirt that I was wearing. That shirt was soaked in blood.
You bled that much?
I bled so much, even the trousers. I've preserved them. So she continued. I tried, because my hands were tied, I tried pushing her. She couldn't move. I think she just wanted to make sure that she leaves me with a permanent mark. Then, fortunately for me, that time she bent over. I tried pushing her and she bent over with a greater force, so she hit me with her head somewhere here. So at that time I managed to pull my hands that had been tied and I held her hair. That is what saved me.
So at this moment, you are also still the same person that is providing for that particular family?
Yes. So that is what saved me. I held her hair and started pulling on her hair. That is the only moment she released me. After releasing me, they started now kicking me while I'm on the ground. They are kicking me, blows, kicks from all over the place. I can't shout. There's a madam who is just my neighbor. I couldn't even reach out to her. Then while I'm still tied with the sock in my mouth, blood coming out and everything, They pack everything of theirs. She takes everything and they call a vehicle. This vehicle comes, they load everything on that vehicle and they leave.
When you talk of everything, you mean every sort of thing in that house, everything?
Yes, everything that belonged to them, plus others that even belonged to me, they were taken away. They took everything, including even slippers. There's nothing they left behind. So, by luck, later on in the evening, I'm just still on the ground. I'm now totally alone in the house. Still on the ground, bleeding, trying to reach out. I can't. Then at that time, Madam was just passing. So my neighbor was passing by. She took a look in the house because she knocked. I couldn't respond, so she was wondering, hey, this door is open. Why is it that I'm not getting any response? So she sort of tried entering and saw me on the ground. So this Madam, I could just tell.
And at that moment, where are the kids? They left the kids?
Yeah, the kids had left. They had gone home earlier. So we were just alone those days.
She's the one who prepared the kids to go home?
No.
Or you had agreed that the kids go home?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I have a younger son who is very proud of my dad, who is now the grandfather. So the younger son insisted that he wants to go and see his grandfather. So we had released them. So when when my neighbor came and found me on the ground, I could just tell she started crying. She couldn't even talk. She cried a bit, then later on came and tied my hands, took out the socks that was stuck in my mouth and asked me what has happened. Even before I narrated, she told me this situation is terrible. We need to go and seek medical attention. But before that, because this one looks like an assault case, even if you go to the hospital, you will not be treated. They will send you to the police. So we went to the police, they recorded the statement and everything. Then I went for medication. The person who attended to me just looked at me. I narrated everything, the way they had beat me up. Even
Badly injured.
Badly injured. Even the ribs were so painful this side. My ribs were in pain. There was pain all over. They had even scratched my body. Parts of the back were scratched with those swellings because the hitting with the chapati rolling pin did not stop at the head.
At that moment, beginning from them hitting you with the chapati rolling pin and all those things, none of your family members is aware of what is happening?
None is aware because my phone, I was charging it in the other room. So I couldn't even reach. I couldn't reach my phone. So at the time when I was untied, that's when I went, took my phone. That time they had left, I don't know to where. So we go to the police, we record the statement, I go, I'm treated. I come back because I felt this one had gone overboard, and because I'm blind and they are at large, I'd rather get police protection. I report everything so that the police can take over, because I could be out there, they are seeing me, I'm not seeing them, they could even harm me. So I went to the police, I filled all the forms. By the way, I have the OB number, I have a copy of the statement and everything. Now, this is where we men really suffer. This is where men really suffer.
When now you go to the policemen and the policemen are now mocking you, or what happened?
I go to the police. First, I ask for the gender desk because I'm aware that there's the gender desk, and there are some people who are specially trained to handle such cases. The policeman we find there is very rough, just very rough, doesn't even want to receive us. I ask for the gender desk. He tells me, no, this is not gender. This is not an issue of gender. This is just assault. It's just rough.
So how is it, even before you continue, now Lamek, how is it just assault But if it was a woman, it would have been something big. But now when it's men concerned, it's just an assault.
It became bad because that is the time I even broke down and started crying because this man in fact started making fun of me. Wewe ndio unapigwa na bibi? Kwani huyo bibi anakaa aje? Where do you come from? I tell her I'm from Western. Watu wa Western nyinyi ni watu strong. Unapigwa na bibi namna gani? I just wondered, this guy, can he see the state I'm in? One, I'm totally blind. That is the first thing. So even if someone was to attack me,
you cannot see where
I will only feel it after I've been hit. Then I was hit to the ground. So even if I was the strongest man alive, I've been caught unawares, and these are people who have been plotting this thing for some time. Now that one made me sad. And interestingly, I think these policemen, let me just use words that are less hurtful to me, less hurtful. I think they knew each other. Yeah, with my wife, they knew each other before. I don't want to impugn any improper motive, but let me just say they knew each other. So this is where the plot now becomes thick. Every step I was making, he would call her and tell her because when I made the statement, I even had to leave the phone number, but he already had that phone number anyway. I don't know.
Oh, the policeman had already got the phone number.
Yes. So every move I was making, the policeman would call her. He has now gone to the hospital. Please also go to hospital. Come and make a statement, say that he attacked you. That is how bad it was.
To counter whatever that
is. Yes, so that everything is negated. It goes back to zero.
At the moment you are badly injured.
I am badly injured. I had not even removed the clothes. The policemen could see that. They could see that. So this lady that had taken me to the police just talked to me and told me, let us do this. Let's go home, take a rest. We'll come back later when the gender officer is in. I took that advice. We went. On coming back, when the gender officer was in, because I'd been given her number, I was told that keep calling. When she's in, you come. So when I went there, these policemen who had talked to us, in fact, tried teasing me and making fun of the whole situation, just follows us in that room.
Just hold there.
Yes.
We'll hold there. It's very, very sad indeed. Let us just take this break. What men go through out here is really sad. Just let us take this break. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the show now is Real and Raw, talking about men being victims of gender-based violence, and we are with Brian Muhandale, a gender-based violence victim. Before we took that break, Brian, at the police gender desk.
Yes, I'm now at the gender desk. The lady handling me is doing things professionally. She's actually taking me through the steps, guiding me. Then this other policeman comes in and uses some Kamba words, you know, because I said I come from Western, so they think that I don't understand. Yet there are a few words I know. So he comes, makes fun, kibeti, to mean that this is the man who has been beaten by the wife. Look at him. Yes, he's making a mockery of me now. How does a wife just beat up a man, then the man is coming to report? And that time he doesn't know what emotions are going through my mind. So I wonder, does he know what I'm going through? Does he know what courage I have had to build, how many questions I've had to answer myself before I took this move? because more it wasn't for revenge or anything. I just wanted protection for myself in the state that I am in. I've been beaten up, then I've been tied, they have left me for the dead. Then from there I'm reporting, thinking that I'm reporting to the safer place. A man is coming in to make a mockery of me and such. But I congratulate the lady. The lady was so professional. I cannot complain about her. She was so professional, and she even told me now, with this statement, I'm going to call her separately. She also writes a statement. Then from there, on Friday, because of the laws, we are going to make arrests. And the law is very clear that once we arrest someone, must be arraigned in court within 24 hours. And she was going to do that. But I feel somehow, because this man is the one who was pulling the strings, every move I make, he would call her and tell her. Everything I do, he would call her and tell her. So she came up also with her own report. She has even used my medical scheme to go do x-rays of the waist. I never even touched her, and she has had a problem with the waist from the time she delivered our second born. Now that is the time she's going to do an x-ray of the waist. She's doing all sorts of tests using even my medical scheme. Yes, my medical cover. She's using my medical cover to do what this policeman is directing her. So she also comes up with her own theory, how I attacked her.
Backed up with the medical.
Yes, with the medical reports and everything. So I just looked at the whole thing and found it so ridiculous. And this is a man who is doing this. This is a place I thought I'm rushing to so that I can be protected. But I will tell you, the lady was so professional. Now the lady told me, Brian, things are thick here. You know, your wife has also been advised to fill a P3 form against you. So I have reported, everything has been filled. I'm expecting that now I'm to be told you are going to appear in court, come with this and this and this. I'm being told that there is a counter P3 that has been brought by your wife. You beat her up. I asked this police lady, the lady who was very kind to me. I asked her, surely look at me. You have seen my wife, you've seen her size. They were two. How powerful am I?
But at the same time, you are blind.
Yes. How powerful can I be in this state to beat up two people? I beat them up. In the end, I tie myself. I insert socks in my mouth. How possible is this? How possible is this?
And how long had you stayed with your wife? How many years?
From 2013, so those are close to 10 years.
All this time, she never showed
any sign of a red flag?
Person or stuff like that?
No, there once in a while she used to show such signs, because I remember there was a time
when you were okay, and
when I was okay.
You were having your sight.
Yes, I had my sight those days. We were staying in a place called Modete. So there was one time when she hit my son badly, my elder son. I don't know which type of mother can hit the son with a mobile phone in the private parts.
Oh, sorry.
That was gross. And I was around. So I soothed the kid first. Once I was done with the kid, I came and asked her, what is this you've done, surely? Oh, mtoto alikuwa amejimwagia uji. I told her, no, that is not a mistake. This is a child. This is a child. Again, why do you target that part of his body? She became rough. That is the first time she showed signs of being a rough person. She became rough, and I remember that time she pushed me.
And
She
so,
pushed
what
me.
action did you take after that? Because now her pushing you,
Yes.
it shows something like this person is trying to send some message.
Yeah.
I was too blind even before I became blind. I was too blind to notice that. So later on she
So
became
all this long
apologetic.
you didn't know, you could not see this kind of red flags and all
Yeah.
that.
So she pushed me and I hit my head on the wall. So
You did
badly
not
also.
respond?
I did not respond. I did not
In any
respond.
way, you did not push her away?
No, I did not push her away because after I hit my head on the wall, it's
Something
like
came in your mind and-
and
There's
I
something-
felt some dizziness, so I had to take time to recover. Then she said, "I'm sorry," and so on and so on. I forgave and we moved on.
Love
and
covers.
forget.
Love
Yes.
covers the multitude of all.
Multitude of sins.
All right.
Yes. So back at the station, this lady now tries to explain to me and tells me now with
Did you go
this,
to court after the station and all that? Did
No.
you go to court?
this lady tells me
Count
now
repeat 3.
with this new development, I am supposed to throw both of you into the cell. You are supposed to be thrown in tonight. So I ask her, how?
And you're the victim here.
I am the victim. I'm the one who reported this thing. Everything has been going on smoothly until someone started mocking me and so on.
Even in your presence.
Yes. Even in my presence, this man would just mock me in my presence. I was told, now you, both of you, are going in.
Then on Monday you are
Then on Monday you appear in court. But because I am a mother and I understand things very well, Brian, I've seen your situation. I would not like you to go into a cell. So I'm going to give you, you'll have to pay a cash bail so that you go out.
So there is now a cash bail again.
Yes, she talked of a cash bail. But later on, she came and told me no. As a mother and as someone who has seen more of this world, I wouldn't want this thing to go in that direction. Please, I want to give you a chance to talk. I want you to talk and find if you can reconcile or such a thing. I told her, okay, if that's what you've decided, well and good, but I'm not happy with the way things have gone. And I could sense that it's like she was being directed on what to do. I told her, this man has come here, talked badly about me, amesema vile mimi napigwa na bibi, ameongea hapa lugha nyingine, derogative terms. I've heard them. And this lady told me, no, don't worry, don't mind about him. Everywhere you go, there are such people. So this lady now tells me, with this, that is the direction that this thing is taking. That's when I I sat down and asked myself, what if it was the other way around? If she is the one who was
assaulted.
assaulted,
The way you are assaulted.
then to make it worse, she were in my state, totally blind.
It was to be bad.
How would it be? Would they have even listened to me? Would they even have ever paid attention to anything I said? But now they have accommodated her. She has even used my medical cover to go take very funny x-rays. I wondered.
Now, did you go to court finally?
No, we
Did
didn't
you
go
have
to
a
court.
talk the way she had suggested?
No, the moment the lady said, you sit and talk, I have a feeling someone might have called her out. Then she left, she went out, just came back and said, Brayo, mimi nimeenda. Okay, then I remained there with the gender officer. I asked her, now, what is the way forward? She told me, I think you take your time. Today's on Friday, take your time. On Monday you can come back, then we see what to do. We can talk. But as it stands, you are supposed to be in the cell. So I asked her, how did things turn?
Again, that you
Brian,
Yes.
But Brian, even before things getting to where they are at this particular moment, the first time you saw the red flags,
Yes.
at some point, did you ever think of taking some action, or perhaps like, let me
talking
just
about-
cut ties with this person, or what? Did you ever come across such a decision?
No, I didn't, because at that time, one, we had this our firstborn, and second, that time she was expectant with our secondborn. She was expectant, so at that time I wanted to be this loving father who is there, a loving husband, and so on. So I didn't
Did she
think
ever
of it.
accuse you of maybe extramarital affair or something like that?
She came up.
Accusation. Not, you were not involved, maybe. You were accused.
She came up with that after I had discovered that she was having an affair with several people.
Oh, now that
That's before you were hit, before she assaulted you.
Yes, that is why they were staying up until late. Because she even had a trip. You can imagine how a man feels. Your wife is leaving you in the house with your boys. She's going to Zanzibar. You ask her, who is taking you to Zanzibar? No, I just made the savings. There's this group on Facebook. I joined. We have paid 25,000. I asked her, no, I know Zanzibar. You cannot go to Zanzibar for 25,000. It is not possible.
Yeah.
I know these
In a
things.
flight, coming back,
Yes.
paying the hotels. How many days?
She went there for a week. One full week.
That's long.
and you are left all alone.
Yes, I'm there with my children. And you can imagine how it feels as a man. You are in the house, you don't know what your wife is doing out there
Blind state.
in your blind state, and you've been left with the kids. So I said, it's okay.
When she came back from Zanzibar, did you become violent in any way?
No.
Or you assumed that?
Yes, you know, there's somewhere I read in the Bible that sometimes treat a fool. I cannot remember the exact words, but